a lot of times people will see your life and see the highlights, like all of the really things that are going well, and it's easy for us to talk about those things. But a lot of times, everybody has all these things kind of in the background that they're trying to juggle and figure out and stuff like that. So anytime I talk about something like balance, I kind of preface it with the fact that like I don't have it all figured out. Like I'm still like very much in the throes of like trying to figure out the key to, having everything in the right balance and stuff. But I think just the fact of being in a place of being kind of cognizant of that and needing balance is a really good place to start, because if you're not at least in that spot, then it's going to be tough to get close to where you need to be. So yeah, like you mentioned, I'm a dad. I've got 4 kids. I'm a husband. I work a full-time job, and then I do music as well. I feel like that's kind of like a full-time job as well, based on the amount of time that I put into it. And then it's just trying to be all the things that you kind of are normally expected to be, like social type things, and everything else. I'm involved, with my kids' school. I help do sound stuff there. I go to my kids, volleyball games. There's just, there's a lot of stuff. So when we talk about balance, one of the ways that I've recently described that when I was talking to a group about this is that it feels like you're basically like a circus performer with plates spinning, right? So I've never actually seen somebody do this, but I've seen videos of people do this where they have like plates going, and they get one plate going here and one plate going here, and they just have like this whole thing of plates, and as soon as they get enough going, like one will start to wobble a little bit, so you got to run back over there and give attention to that one, and then these over here will start to wobble. And I kind of feel like that's how I have to approach my life. I have to prioritize things and say, what's the most important thing, and what do I need to keep spinning first and foremost, and make sure that I'm not losing focus on those things. What are the most important plates? What do I have to make sure that I'm giving attention to first? And then on the outline, I have all these other pieces and these other things. And sometimes I have to let go of certain things. Some plates have to start to wobble a little bit in order for me to do other things, because there really is only so many hours in the day, that you can um, give to everything. So yeah, my life is a bunch of kind of spinning plates at this point. But yeah, I think as far as understanding where to put your time and effort and make a priority, that just comes like with experience and a lot of, I don't want to say broken plates, but like really wobbly plates. Like you'll know when you're neglecting something. You'll know when you start to like not do something that you need to be doing. Like if you're neglecting family, if you're not spending as much time, being a good spouse, or being present in another important relationship, you're going to feel the strain on that, and you can't let whatever it is that you're prioritizing in that season necessarily take over just because it's really important. So that's where I kind of am with music. I have to try to fit it in around the or kind of like in the outlying hours of the day. Sometimes I'll wake up real early in the morning. Like just yesterday I was up, or maybe it was today, I was up at like 4:45 or something, just starting, and I had like a good 2 or 3 hours before my day kind of really just got started. And then sometimes I'll do it real late into the evening and stuff. So yeah.
Man, a lot of wisdom in there, and there's a lot of different kind of things we can go off with that. You talk about like the spinning plates. I don't think that comes natural to most people, and I think you'd probably say it didn't come natural to you at first. So, do you have any memories of like the first time you realized, like, because I'm definitely the kind of person where I tend to overcommit to stuff and I'll take way too much on. I remember going through like I kind of go in and out of my practice of journaling.
Mm.
But last summer, maybe 2 summers ago, I remember just thinking like, I'm so overwhelmed right now. Like I should just write out everything I feel like I have to do. And the list was literally like 30 things long.
Yeah.
Like I had all these collabs, these courses I wanted to do. I want to learn mixing better. I want to get better production. I want to do stuff for this company, that company. And it was literally like 30 some things. And I'm like, no wonder I feel so stressed.
Yep.
Have you found yourself in those positions? And like, do you have any like good practices for focusing, and just how do you develop that skill of like being able to really focus? Because you can't start with 5 spinning plates.
Right. Right.
You don't throw 5 plates up at first. So, at some point you just have to start one and then you add another. And like you said, if you don't give the proper attention and care, they start to wobble. So how do you go about that?
Yeah. So I think kind of what you said is a really smart approach in general is like even just listing out or putting it out there and saying this is what I know I need to prioritize. This is what I know I need to focus on. And once you kind of have a little bit better of an idea of what those priorities are, it can help you kind of rank them a little bit. So funny story, I just even today, and I'm going to be feeling it tomorrow, but just today, I've been feeling like I've neglected the my fitness, like my health, lately, like within the last 5 or 6 months. So today I was at the gym. I carved out like an hour, to fit into the gym, and I'm going to see if I can kind of get that going a little bit. And that's something that I had to like think about. I talked to my wife about. I said I want to make this a priority. I'm trying to figure out how to fit this into my schedule, make it a reality. And she helped me. She helped me kind of plan that out a little bit. So writing those things out, planning it out, talking to people about how you're going to make it a priority. Sometimes that really does help. Even in like stuff like eating healthy and stuff like that, something that I'm constantly trying to balance in. When I have a conversation with my wife about that, it helps me because there's a little bit of accountability there. It's not just oh, I want to do better at that, or oh, I want to get this going. So, and that applies, I think, to anyone that's whether you're in the throes of wanting to start a new business or get into music or sync licensing like I do. You can have all these plans and thoughts and ideas, but until you really start talking about it, get a plan for it, and say, this is how this actually fits into my life and where it falls on the priority level. Until that happens, it's really not going to become a reality. When I first started doing music sync stuff, I spent way too much just on music. Like, I was so unbalanced, and I started killing myself by neglecting things like sleep and all these other things. And it did not take long for me to realize this is not going to last. Like, this is not something that is sustainable. So I had to make quite a bit of adjustments to kind of get back on track, to where I needed to be with that kind of stuff. So